Welcome to this daily PBJ devotional. Read Leviticus 2 and 3, Song of Songs 6, and Psalms 39 through 41 today. This devotional is about Psalm 39. I said, I will watch my ways, so that I will not sin with my tongue. I will guard my mouth with a muzzle, as long as the wicked are present. I was speechless and still. I remained silent even from speaking good, and my sorrow was stirred. My heart grew hot within me. As I mused, the fire burned. Then I spoke with my tongue. Show me, O Lord, my end, and the measure of my days. Let me know how fleeting my life is. You, indeed, have made my days as handbreadths, and my lifetime as nothing before you. Truly, each man at his best exists as but a breath, Selah. Surely every man goes about like a phantom. Surely he bustles in vain. He heaps up riches, not knowing who will haul them away. And now, O Lord, for what do I wait? My hope is in you. Deliver me from all my transgressions, and do not make me the reproach of fools. I have become a mute. I do not open my mouth because of what you have done. Remove your scourge from me. I am perishing by the force of your hand. You discipline and correct a man for his iniquity, consuming like a moth what he holds dear. Surely each man is but a vapor, Selah. Hear my prayer, O Lord, and give ear to my cry for help. Do not be deaf to my weeping, for I am a foreigner dwelling with you, a stranger like all my fathers. Turn your gaze away from me, that I may be cheered before I depart and am no more. This is God's word. Psalm 39 is a lament, which is a type of psalm where the song expresses sorrow to God. Usually psalms of lament express sorrow regarding Israel as a group. This one, however, is an individual psalm of lament. So the psalmist is sorrowful about his own individual pain and problems. Unfortunately, the psalm tells us nothing about what his problems were. Aging, disease, personal betrayal, a crisis of faith. Your guess is as good as mine. Clearly, though, something was deeply bothersome to him and affected his relationship with God. Although he was determined not to lose his testimony by saying something against God in the presence of the wicked, as we saw in verses 1 and 2a, he could not contain his pain completely. In verses 2b through 11, he cried out to God. He asked God for wisdom in managing his life as he sensed his days were few and fleeting. That's verses 4 through 6. Then he asked God for salvation from whatever was oppressing him. That's verses 7 through 13. He seemed to regard the problem as God's discipline in his life. We saw that in verse 11 and verse 13a. And he begged God to remove it from him as the psalm closed in verse 13b. And he did this so that he could enjoy what little time he had left in life. Unlike so many psalms that end with an encouraging note of hope and confidence in God, this one ends with one man's desperate plea for God's help. A psalm like this one may not stimulate us to worship, but it is helpful for us as believers. It shows that there is an emotional range to our prayers that is much greater than we think is allowable or safe. Our praying tends to be very cautious, very measured, very predictable. We've been taught that it is okay to ask God to save people, or to ask God for healing, or to ask God for his will to be done, or to ask God to bless and help us. And of course, these are biblical ways to pray. But psalms like this one show us that there is so much more to praying. God desires for us to speak to him from the heart. While we should remember that he is the creator and we are the creation, we should also remember that he is our Father, that he loves us and wants us to pour out our hearts in humble dependence on him. Your questions, your tears, your screams of pain and anguish are not inappropriate expressions for God. They're a sign of your authentic faith. So if you're hurting, confused, sad, desperate, or whatever negative emotion you're feeling, God gave you the gift of prayer so that you can speak to him from the heart. So speak up. And I'll see you next time. May God bless you. I hope you have a great day today.